Hello everyone, Zebedee here, and today I thought it would be fun to talk about lost media. Thomas and Friends is no stranger to lost media. Throughout the years, there has been so much, and today I'm going to go through it all, starting with Really Useful Engines. Zebedee, Really Useful Engines was the first book Christopher Rodri published in 1983 or 88. No, you are, because Really Useful Engines was a title Wilbur Awdry, the father of Christopher Awdry, had lying around. We do not know anything about it, only that it would have been one of his next books. Not sure about D, but one of. That's all we know about it. Moving on. Barry the Rescue Engine. Barry the Rescue Engine was going to be the 1986 book. It would have featured Barry, an avid 2MT tank engine, who was saved from scrap by the Fat Controller. The name Barry also came from Barry Island Scrapyard. At the end of the book, he would have worn the number 13 and maybe have become the island's rescue engine. Or maybe the rescue in that is that, he was rescued. Honestly, don't know. However, it was unfortunately cancelled in favour of More About Thomas the Tank Engine, as Britt David and the rest of the show producers needed more stories about Thomas. Hello Twins, Jordan Goes Foreign, and Drip Tank. Hello Twins, Jordan Goes Foreign, and Drip Tank were 3 of the 5 cancelled Season 2 episodes. Now, I'm not including Percy's Promise or Doubleheader, as they were going to be adapted next season. Hello Twins was going to adapt Hello Twins and the Missing Coach, which would introduce Donald and Douglas. However, since it was cancelled, their introduction was rushed in the episode Break Van. I'm not going to go over everything, however, I highly recommend you check out Nick Starwin's video on it. Link is in the description. Jordan Goes Foreign was cancelled for unknown reasons. In it, they were going to make Henry a new face and smoke deflectors. Not even that sure why this one was cancelled, as they wouldn't have had to make any new sets for the episode. Drip Tank was cancelled, as they wouldn't have had to make any new sets for the episode. And this story was written by Christopher Awdry just for this season. There is no definitive answer, but likely because the word drip was used. And maybe because they would have had Thomas's prop. Maybe they had to make water go through it, or maybe just break down. I'm sure they would have just done that. I wish this episode was adapted because the ending on Thomas and Miss Percy and Nicole feels so rushed. James and Super ED. James and Super ED was a cancelled season 5 episode that involved James getting into an accident causing a new diesel called ED arriving to the island and him getting superpowers. It's a mid-episode, not gonna lie. I mean, why is it lightning that kills ED at the end? Oh yes, and a huge shout out to Valesbridge Productions for buying the Season 5 draft scripts. Link to his channel is in the description. David Mitten's 1999 Thomas Tuggs movie. David Mitten's 1999 Thomas Tuggs movie is by far the most mysterious entry on this list. In 1999, David Mitten, director of Thomas the Tank Engine, wanted to create a movie. However, the production of Thomas and the Magic Railroad came first, and due to its failure, the team did not have enough money for another movie. As of February 2026, the only scene we know is one where Thomas stops at a port at Tidmouth Docks and where he meets the characters from Tugs, who specifically is unknown, although we can assume most of the main characters would be there, i.e. Tencent, Sunshine, Top Hat, OJ, Zoran, Warrior, Zip, and Zug. Original 2009 Thomas and Friends movie. Original 2009 Thomas and Friends movie is very unknown. All we know is that it involved Trenti accidentally loading Thomas onto a ship heading far, far away. In that land far, far away, Thomas makes a new friend who helps him get back home. Thankfully, this prototype script was found in 2022. The Adventures of Thomas. The Adventures of Thomas was written by Shane Atka and planned for 2011, then 2012, and then 2013, and then it was cancelled. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but I highly recommend you check out Derek Smith's video on it. It's a great watch. But to say the least, it's not the World War II movie we all thought it was, and more of a Steamies versus Diesel story. Season 25. Season 25 was going to be a regular Thomas and Friends season. All we know about it is that it would have Thomas visiting Japan, and the characters he would interact with would be Hiro and Kenji. For the Sodor episodes, we know Sir Robert Norby, the Earl of Sodor, would be in it, and that Henrietta would have a role. But the biggest thing of all, a time-traveling machine? The engines don't actually use it, but Thomas imagines being a prop where he goes back to the OG Season 1 style and pretends to be a Perspex replica. And that's all, folks. Thanks so much for watching. If there's anything I missed, please tell me in the comments down below. I'm Zebedee, and goodbye, everyone. Hey everyone, Zebedee here. While editing this video, I realized I forgot about the cancelled packed episodes. That's actually kind of embarrassing for me. So I'll just go over them all right now. I could not write a script down for this section, so I'm just saying Kelly's Heroes, Jack Snow Rescue, The Importance of Being Patrick, Jack and the Quack, are all very fun ones, and I would like to find out one day what Safety First and No Bulldozers and Island is. Yeah, just so I don't get that in the comments. Yeah. Tell me about your thoughts down below. Goodbye, everyone.